It is no secret that being a professional footballer is an extremely challenging and brutal career. Very few reach the top level of the sport. Today, we look at the 5 biggest wasted talents and how their careers went from hero to zero. And who better to start with than a Brazilian striker with Ballon d'Or potential, Alexandre Pato. His career came from humble beginnings, starting in the Internacional Academy in Brazil from ages 10 to 16 and then moving to the first team in 2006. At just 17 years old, he made his professional debut for the club. He ended up scoring in the first minute of the game, and the rest of the game was spent tearing apart the defence with his dribbling and passing, giving him also 2 assists. Not bad for his first senior match. Till mid-2007, Pato took his boyhood club by storm, until AC Milan saw potential and paid Internacional 24 million, a near record transfer price at the time, for Alexandre Pato. And considering that AC Milan at the time were the best team in the world, winning the Champions League that same season, this was a very high profile signing. Pato had to wait till January 2008 to play his first game for the club. With a goal on his debut, a 5-2 win over Napoli, it was fair to say that he had arrived in Europe. The rest of the season saw Milan finish a disappointing 5th in the Italian league, but scoring 9 goals in 18 appearances, Pato was certainly not being blamed. In his first full season in Europe, Pato, at only the age of 19, finished as AC Milan's leading goal scorer with 18 goals. This was very impressive when the AC Milan squad consisted of players such as David Beckham, Kaká, Ronaldinho and Shevchenko. His play style was fast and technical, making use of his exceptional dribbling and finishing. This guy was clearly a generational talent. And with both Maldini and Kaká announcing their retirements in the same season, it paved the way for Pato to step up and be the face of the club, and with some of the world's top talents around him, Pato was on cloud 9. The 2009-2010 season kicked off with Pato scoring 2 goals against Real Madrid in a Champions League match, showing he really could perform against the best talents in the world, and furthermore, by December, he picked up the Golden Boy award, given to the one youth player with the biggest potential. However, just after he won the Golden Boy, he was introduced with his biggest problem, and an explanation as to why he did not achieve greatness: injuries. He picked up a thigh injury, which caused him to miss 2 whole months of football. Despite this, he still proved to be a talent, scoring 5 goals in his first 5 matches after returning. However, his spell of form was cut short once again, as he was hit with yet another injury and missed yet another half month of football. But after returning from injury this time, he managed only 15 minutes on the pitch before being taken off injured once more. This saw him miss the rest of the season. This included crucial Champions League matches against Roma and Man United. There was clearly a deeper injury problem. Moving on to the 2010-2011 season, Pato continued to be plagued by injuries, playing 65% of Serie A games and 35% of Champions League matches because of 3 separate injuries. However, he still showed class and fine form when he would play, being the second highest goalscorer of AC Milan that season. His talent was also showcased early in the 11-12 season, with a goal in just under 22 seconds against one of the strongest Barcelona teams in history, with manager Pep Guardiola saying, "It could have been Busquets or Usain Bolt, no one was catching him." However, this was about where his good run of form ended. The 11-12 season saw yet another steep decline in his appearances, playing just 11 Serie A matches, scoring just 1 goal. It was clear, however, after the beginning of the 12-13 season that Pato was just not a reliable player to have in the squad, and after the first 4 months of the season, counting just 4 appearances for the club, he was transferred to Corinthians in Brazil. From that point, his career just kept declining, scoring just 9 goals in 1 calendar year playing for Corinthians. With worsening talent and unpredictable form, and the injuries plaguing every season, he would spend the next 10 years being transferred and loaned between multiple small clubs. His injuries became a severe problem. Every new time away from football, he would lose a little bit more of his blistering pace and star shooting. Teams like Tianjin Quanjian, Sao Paulo and Orlando City were not even close to the ability of the teams he was predicted to be starring at. His 24 recorded injuries for his entire career were inevitably his downfall. He is currently playing for Sao Paulo FC and unfortunately, at 34 years old, his career has little to no chance of reaching the high heights it was predicted to. However, someone who still does have time to change their career reputation is former Spurs and England wonder kid, Dele Alli, at one point being widely regarded as one of the best signings ever and the future of English football. Dele Alli joined MK Dons at age 11 and made his way up the squad to the first team with flying colours. He made his debut in 2012, coming on as a substitute against Cambridge, and his first goal came in the FA Cup replay, also against Cambridge. However, the 2013-2014 season saw Dele Alli break into the first team at MK Dons, establishing himself as a first-choice midfielder with his technical ability and understanding of the game. He made 37 appearances in all competitions during the season, scoring 7 times. It was though in the 2014-2015 season where Dele Alli really had his breakthrough year. He starred in a 4-0 win against Man United in the FA Cup. Along with other games from the season, representatives from top clubs in Europe attended these matches, one being a scout from Tottenham Hotspur. On the 2nd of February 2015, Dele Alli signed for Tottenham Hotspur on a 5.5-year deal for an initial fee of $5 million. He was immediately loaned back to MK Dons for the remainder of the 2014-15 season. On the 19th of April, he was chosen as the Young Player of the Year at the Football League Awards, recognising him as a future talent. Moving forward to August 2015, Dele Alli made his Tottenham debut against Manchester United, and 2 weeks later he would score his first goal for the club against Leicester. Following an impressive start to his Premier League career, having 8 goal contributions in his first 18 matches, he was rewarded with a new long-term contract until 2021. 11 days later, he scored a 25-yard volley against Crystal Palace. This really put him on people's radar as a future star. He continued to showcase his generational technique and skill, both in attack and defence, for the rest of the season, scoring 10 goals and having 3 assists in the 33 games he played in the league. On the 18th of April 2016, Dele Alli scored his first brace for Tottenham, and in addition to this, he was voted the Premier League's goal of the season, as well as being given the prestigious Young Player of the Year. This award was previously won by some of the best players in the Premier League, including Wayne Rooney, Eden Hazard, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs and Cristiano Ronaldo. And now, Dele Alli was predicted to join this elite group of generational talents. His ability came from excellent movement inside the box, matched with a lethal finish. The 16-17 season saw only positive change in Dele Alli's form. He made his Champions League debut against Monaco, and also he scored 8 goals in 6 league matches between December 2016 and January 2017, winning the Premier League Player of the Month award for January. He won the Premier League Young Player of the Year award again at the end of the next season, making it back-to-back wins, as well as making the team of the season. He was criticised for his inconsistency the next season, failing to perform as well as he did the previous one. However, due to his young age and how well he had performed the season before, his decrease in consistency was not seen as a major problem, as well as the fact he had a very good performance in England at the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Despite the Champions League final that he appeared in, the 2018-2019 season seemed also underwhelming to the season before, playing 60% out of all 38 Premier League games, with only 5 goals. This could have been pure unluckiness, with a major injury taking him out of football for 3 months, or was he really just getting worse every season? Spurs had been doing relatively well in the Premier League, up until the point that Pochettino, or the manager that signed Dele Alli himself, was fired and replaced with Jose Mourinho. In the Tottenham Hotspur All or Nothing documentary, Jose Mourinho can be constantly seen telling Dele Alli how fast youth football goes and how he should enjoy playing with freedom and make the most of his opportunity. And for a while this message seemed to resonate with Dele as he continued to play with his attacking style and playing with confidence. This could be seen with a patch of good form during late 2019 and early 2020. However, from this point his career took a steep turn. He continued to suffer injuries, usually putting him out of action for months at a time, as well as management of Tottenham being unable to sign and develop players to perform well consistently around Dele Alli, being the first team in the Premier League not to sign anyone during a summer transfer window in 2018. The team simply got worse. He was constantly put in unfavourable positions out of necessity. Players that complemented Dele's style continued to leave, including players such as Christian Eriksen, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier and Danny Rose. It could be easy to label Dele Alli as simply unlucky during this period, but an article by a journalist stated that Dele was constantly distracted by his interests off the field. The player, who was at one point rated the most expensive midfielder in the world, was now losing his spark that put him under the spotlight originally. And when he would leave Tottenham Hotspur, it would be on a free transfer to Everton, and thanks to injuries and a severe decline in performance, he would make only 13 appearances in the next 3 years. It was fair to say that he significantly overperformed in his first few seasons and declined to bench and reserve standard, with more favourable options being transferred in to replace him. However, Dele Alli, unlike Pato, has a glimmer of hope. He has performed significantly better in the last year, whilst on loan at Besiktas, and in an interview with Gary Neville, Dele Alli states that he still believes he can turn his career around and aims to feature in a near World Cup for England. Unfortunately, that is the end of the first part of these videos. I would strongly encourage you to watch the other videos when they do come out, and as usual, thank you for watching.